for computers, we frequently on a computer don't have a way to type in a radical. So what we need to do is we need to write it another way. And that other way is called exponential. So if we have the cubic root of x to the 5th, this would be the same as so this would be the same as x is what's on the inside, and then the 3, the root or the index, goes in the denominator of your exponent. So the 3 goes in the bottom. Do I need to say that? I'm on my last nerve. So 3 on the bottom, and then the 5 goes on the top. So this is the same as x to the 5/3. So next one, I'm going to ask a group. So tell me, back there in the corner, how do we rewrite the 4th root of 5a in exponential form?
5a or 1.
Does the 4 go in the denominator or the numerator?
Denominator.
1/4. So now let me ask you, does this 4th root only apply to the a, or does it apply to both the 5 and the a? Both of them. So what do we need to put around the 5 and the a to show that it's applying to both of them? Parentheses. So we have to put parentheses there. Let me rewrite that again so it's clear that it's an exponent. It's hard because we want to make sure you can see it, but right big enough for you to see it. Okay, so once again, it's not optional to put that parentheses there. Because if it was, if we didn't have the parentheses, it would only apply to the a. So this one here, this group here, tell me how to rewrite this one in exponential.
3r and 4/7.
Good. 4/7 or 7/4?
7/4.
Good. So the root or the index goes on the bottom, and then this goes up on the top. So we're just changing from radical forms to exponential forms here. Okay, number 4. How would we write that one? Good. And to the exponent 5/3. Do we need a parentheses on that one?
No.
No, because we don't have more than one thing that we're taking to that exponent. It's just an n. Okay, so if we had 2 parts, like say nm or 4n, then we would need to put parentheses around there. Okay, I'm going to change this one. How would we rewrite this one? 6a, right? And then what's my exponent?
3.
3 over, not 1, but 2. It says, remember, it's assumed to be a 2 if we don't have anything there. We talked about that on Wednesday. We did. That's okay. Still learning it. So 3/2. Do I need parentheses here?
Yes.
Yes. Have to have the parentheses on this one. So we assume when we have a square root that it's a 2.
Are all of them square roots though?
No, this is a 4th root.
Oh.
I know you're used to it, because that's all you've known is square root. So good question.
Okay.
Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, go ahead and do your try, please.
Did you get lost on this? Huh? You got lost on this? Yes. was gonna like this shit. Oh my god. Weird.
Okay, everybody I saw had it written correctly. Seven N, parentheses around the 7N. Exponent 1/3. Okay, on to the next ones. Okay, so now what we're going to do is write it in radical form. So we wrote in exponential form, and now we're going to write it in radical form. So we're going to change this to a radical. This is an X. This group back here, what number goes right here? Yes. And then we can just write it like this.
Yep.
Or you can write it as the cube root of X parentheses to the fourth.
Is it just the same thing?
It's the same thing, because it doesn't matter what order we do that. You can do the root first, or we can do the exponent. Oh my God, that's awesome. Okay, so number 8. This group here. Tell me how we do number 8. Good. Fourth root. Yep. And then we don't need a parentheses there. We have the 5p on the inside. It's all to the exponent 1. Doesn't matter. It's not going to change it, whether we put a parentheses around it or not. Okay, number 9. This group here. Can you tell me? Do we have to?
No, it's already.
That's right. Thank you, those of you who are sitting quietly. So, Jason just said we don't have to put the 2 here. We can, but we don't have to. And then what goes on the inside? 7n, and then we can write it as exponent of 5. We can put that on the inside, or we can do the square root of 7n to the 5th. Either way is fine. Go ahead and do the U try, please. Just do that.
3, 4b. On Tuesday? Or Tuesday?
I didn't hear it.
I've never been done. Yes, you just said.
Okay, everybody who I looked at, they had it right. So either one of these 2 is acceptable. Okay, so now these are going to get just a little bit harder. We're going to simplify now. So when we simplify, what we want to do we are familiar familiar with the radical form. So we're going to change it first to radical form. So this would be, do I need a 2 there?
No.
No.
It's already assumed, right?
That's right. So, and it's not wrong if you put it, we don't need it. You know what the answer is?
I know, I have a question. Is there only, it's automatically assume if it's on the left side and not outside the parentheses?
If, say that again?
So, it's two, right, you only assume it's right there, but it's not right there.
Oh, right. So, yes, you have to put a number there. You put it as an exponent, you have to put it there. Good question. So I had a really good question. He was just saying that when we put it in that exponential form, we have to put the 2 there. Whereas when we have it in the radical form, we don't need to put that 2 there. So what is the square root of 81? Because we're not done. We're now going to simplify it. It's 9. So our answer is 9.
Every negative becomes negative.
No. That would be if it were like the square root, x squared, and we're taking the square root of it. Because when we squared a negative, we would get that. But it's called, we have this thing in math where when we take the square root, we assume it's the principal square root, which is the positive square root. Yeah.
What if it's the negative? It's negative.
Say that again?
What if it's like negative 80?
Then it would be an I. We're not going to be working with any I's today. Okay, 64 to the 3 halves. This is back here. I'm going to rewrite it in radical form.
That's 2.
54 third.
Yep.
54. Yeah, 2 on the left side.
Okay.
Parentheses and 3 outside.
Okay, so listen to this. You can do it any order. If you're simplifying it, it's much easier if you do the root or the index first, okay? Because you get a smaller number. What's the square root of 64?
8.
8. So this is going to be the same thing as 8 to the 3rd, which is what? Remember I said you'll need to know how to use that exponent key on your calculator? Here's one of those times. So what is 8 to the 3rd? Thank you. I see a few people getting their calculators out. Thank you. I like that you're trying.
127.
I know it's big. I appreciate your trying it though.
I guess that.
Okay. So we're getting a little harder here. So now we're going to rewrite number 13 in radical form. This group in the how do we rewrite that radical form? Thank you, those of you who are sitting quietly.
The parentheses square root x.
Yes. Okay, and so we don't have to put a parenthesis here. We could. We don't have to. This one can be simplified, and I know it doesn't look like it, but it can. X to the 3rd is how many x's? So because it's a square root, we are looking for groups of 2. So our simplified answer would be x times the square root of x. We did this stuff on Wednesday. So if you were gone for that, you may need to watch that video. Okay, let's do number 14. Write it in radical form for me. This group here. Write it in radical form for me. Guys back there, and hang on. Thank you. This group here. Tell me how to rewrite this in radical form. Yep, square root of 20x to the 5th, and now we need to simplify it.
Do we need to simplify the square root?
We need to simplify all the stuff that's inside. So yeah. So this is, what do we do to simplify the 20 when we're simplifying square root of 20? Yeah, so we're going to take the prime factors, 10 times 2 and 5 times 2. So this would be the same as 5 times 2 times 2, and then how many x's? 5.
Take it to the out.
So we are going to look at groups of 2. So we have 2 2's, we have 2 x's. Do we have any other pairs? Yes, we have another pair of x's, don't we? So how does this simplify? It simplifies to 2x squared times the square root of 5x. We did some of this on Friday. So that right there would be some review for first semester, but this one will be a little different. Okay, 15.
Three outside.
Good.
5 on the inside.
Okay, so we can put either to the 5th out here or parentheses into the 5th on the inside. Either one is fine. What I would do next, there's more than one way to do this, is I would rewrite this as 3a times itself. How many times? 5. 3a times 3a times 3a times 3a times 3a. Now, pay attention. What are we looking for groups of? 3, because this is a cubic root. You're used to doing square roots, so we started this on Wednesday. So this is a cubic root, so we're looking at groups of 3. So my answer is going to be a 3a on the outside, and then what on the inside? What on the inside?
Wait, why are we doing 5?
Because of the exponent.
Oh.
So what's on the inside now? What's 3a times 3a? 9a squared. And then be careful, we're not used to putting a number there, so make sure you put that 3 there. Easy to forget, because we weren't used to doing that. You've just been used to doing square roots. Okay, last one. What is 0.5 the same as? What fraction? 1/2. So the easiest way, I think, to do this one is the square root of 50x to the 3rd. So we want to do what to simplify that? Yeah, factor tree. 25 and 2. 5 and 5. 5 times 5 times 2. And then 1, 2, 3 x's. And then what do we have pairs of? Pairs of 2's. Anything else? Sorry, no, we have a pair, not pairs of 2, but pairs of 5. Yes? Pairs of 5. A pair of 5. And then what else do we have a pair of? X's. So on the outside, let me write that again. So this simplifies to 5x times the square root of 2x. That's it. Can I get somebody to pass